Dumela. Please note that in the general ledger, obviously we have the financial position account section and the nominal account section. I will start with trading stock. Remember, trading stock is a current asset account. And since it's a current asset account, it increases on the debit side at cost price. It increases on the debit side at cost price. It decreases on the credit side at cost price. Our trading stock balance at the moment in the trial balance is sitting at 900,000. We needed to adjust it, remember, because of those adjustments that took place. I will start by increasing it by the cost price of goods that were returned, which was 20,000, and decrease it by the loss due to theft. It was due to fire, actually, not theft, of 7,600. And in total, remember, this loss must be 38,000. Another part of that loss went to income receivable. So we are going to receive cash for it, which was 30,400. The balancing figure will be our balance brought down in the next financial year. And our balancing figure, we know that should be at 900,000. We, however, had a surplus. So trading stock needed to go up by an amount of 30,000. And it also needed to go down by the cost price of stock that was donated, and that was 12,000. Hence, we will have a balance carried down, which must be the same as the amount of stock counted, and that will be 900,000. When you total it up, it'll give you 950 on both sides. I started with balance brought down because I wanted to show you where the 30,000 comes from. The 30,000 comes from us comparing what we had as the balance with what we had in the warehouse. 900,000 is what we had in the warehouse. And I did show you how to calculate the 30,000. You should be fine with that. All right. Consumable stores on hand, again, it is a current asset. It goes up on the debit side. We didn't have any balance of consumable stores. We have a new balance of consumable stores, which amounts to 1,540, and that is stock count of stationery, what we still have on hand with respect to our stationery. So our balance carried down that we are going to carry to the next financial year will be that 1,540, and in the next financial year, we are going to start with that amount by recording it as balance brought down. Our debtors control. This amount will be given to you, and it is given to you in trade and other receivables of your handout. If you don't have the handout, make sure that you download it from the Google Classroom. I gave you the code and the description. It was given to you as 50,000. So you needed to put it here as 50,000. it will be reduced by stock that was returned. Remember, whatever comes, this is an asset account. The difference with this asset account is that it increases at cost price. It increases at selling price. I repeat, it increases on the debit side at selling price, and it decreases by the same amount, which is the selling price. Now, selling price of goods that were returned by customers was 30,000. In essence, customers are now owing us the remaining amount of 20,000 because they returned 30,000 worth of stock, which is the selling price of stock that was returned. In the next financial year, they will be owing us that 20,000. I'll start with the total, and that 20,000 will be our balance brought down in the next financial year. Another account that will be affected will be insurance receivable, which is your current asset. This is the amount we are going to receive in the next financial year from the insurance company for the insurance payout that we were covered for. They only agreed to pay us only 80% of the total loss, which amounted to 30,400. This will be the balance we carry down to the next financial year. So it'll only decrease when we have received that amount, when it's in our bank account of 30,400. Debtors allowances, which was given to you in the statement of profit or loss, we're sitting at 66,000 because there was a return of goods amounting to 30,000. It will increase our debtors allowances by 30,000. Okay, now I'm just closing it off. But before I close it off, I need to recognize the fact that it increased by 30,000 from the general journal. Obviously, it will not have balance brought down. I'm going to close it off to sales. So it will go to the debit side of sales. That 96,000 will go to the debit side of sale. How did I get that 96,000? It is the balance of debtors allowances at the beginning of the year of 66,000, but more returns were made during the year worth 30,000. And obviously 66,000 plus 30,000 will give you 96,000, which is our total debtors allowances. We are going to close it off. It will not have a balance carried down at the end of the financial year. It will be closed off against sales. So we are going to take it and minus it from our sales figure. Let's do that. Sales balance brought down for sales is sitting at 1.2. This was given to you in the statement of profit or loss in the answer book. It will be reduced by the total of our debtors allowances of 96,000. The balancing figure will be taken to an account we call trading account. And the trading account balance will be 1,104,000, which is 1,200,000 minus 96,000. So we are going to close off our sales against trading account. Cost of sales is an expense account, so it will increase on the debit side and decrease on the credit side. It increases at cost price. At the beginning of, well, not at the beginning, the balance that was given to you in the trial balance was 800,000. But that 800,000 will be reduced by the cost price of goods that were returned, and that will be 20,000. The balancing figure will also be closed off against trading account. And the balancing figure will be 780,000. Then I'm going to go again to nominal accounts section. I've done sales already. Sales is income. Remember that. That's why it was increasing on the credit side. Under Nominal account section will also have loss due to theft. I said it's an expense. Because it's an expense, it'll go up on the debit side. Loss due to fire, not theft. It is sitting at 7,600, sorry for that. And we are going to close it off against profit or loss account. Donations is an expense as well. It will increase on the debit side. There was donations of stock, which amounted to 12,000. That expense will also be closed off against profit or loss. All your expenses and all your income will be closed off against profit or loss, except for sales and cost of sales. Sales and cost of sales will be closed off against trading account. This only happens at the end of the financial year. And later you will learn that trading account will also be closed off against profit or loss account. Your stationery is an expense again. Your expense for this year for stationery is not this 12,540. The actual expense for stationery is stationery that was used. So we need to take 12,540 and minus stationery that was not used, which is 1,540. We will be left with stationery used, which is an expense, and that expense will be closed off against profit or loss account. And that will be 11,000. All right. In your statement of profit or loss from sales, already we minus 66,000, and now you are going to minus the other 30,000, which represents the selling price of goods that were returned. This is very, very important. Please write NB for this. Note that I will not ask the general journal, the general ledger, and statement of profit or loss. But statement of profit or loss, you will see later, it's part of financial statements. And this is very, very important for grade 12s and 11s, and actually even for grade 10s. So you need to make sure that you get this right. They hardly ask general ledger accounts, but they will definitely ask the statement of profit or loss in grade 11 and in grade 12. So it's very important to remember this. Now, note that when you have done the adjustments, our sales will be sitting at 1,104,000. Cost of sales, we need to reduce it by the cost price of goods that were returned. You will remember from last year, I've always said to you, grade 10 that is, cost of sales will always increase at cost price when goods are sold. So it makes sense that it will decrease at cost price when goods are returned, because it means sales have decreased. And cost of sales in a statement of profit or loss, you need to show it in brackets. You need to show cost of sales in brackets. When you put it in brackets, you're simply saying that I need to subtract it. Now, I always get this excuse from students that, yeah, but I subtracted it even if I didn't show it in brackets. But I can't tell that you subtracted it. For you to subtract it, you need to put it in brackets. And this doesn't even take a second. It's 1, 2, you're done. I don't understand why it's so hard for students to show things that they need to show in brackets. Just for that 1 mark, just show it in brackets. No argument, you get 1 mark in brackets. That's it. Now, the reason why we show cost of sales in brackets, we are simply going to subtract that amount from the sales figure. So we are going to take that 1,104,000 minus 780,000. And that will give you your gross profit. So your gross profit is simply sales minus cost of sales. Your gross profit amount here will be 324,000. Let me confirm. It's 1,104,000 minus 780,000. It'll give you 324,000. Under operating income, I will have that amount of trading stock surplus, and my trading stock surplus amount will be, show it in brackets again, which is 900,000 minus 870. Those are the workings, by the way. And then when you put it under the final column, you don't put it in brackets because it's income. So that 30,000 will be income. And then obviously if you had other income amounts, you're going to add them up, and the total you put it under that shaded box as 30,000. You're going to take 324,000, add it with 30,000. So when you take gross profit and add it with operating income, you will get gross operating income, which will be, in this case, your gross operating income will be 354,000. We'll do that later. I'll go under operating expenses. The first thing I'm going to record there will be donations. Donations will be at 12,000. And then I'll have loss due to theft. In this case, it's loss due to fire. Of 7,600. You still remember that? Which is just the 20% of the 38,000, because the 80% we are going to receive it. When it comes to stationery, here is the problem. Stationery that was given in the trial balance is 12,540. I always say this to grade 10s, 11s, and 12s every year. And somehow 80% of the students do what I ask them not to do. Do you see that 1,540 that I highlighted? Students put 11,000 there. And remember, I said from the stationery in the trial balance, you minus what was not used to find what has been used. Now, a lot of students, because what was not used is always given to the adjustment. All they do is just to take whatever they have as stationery in their adjustments, they minus it from here without actually reading the adjustment. In this case, the adjustment didn't give you stationery that was not used. It gave you stationery that was used, which was that 11,000. So 11,000 is the actual expense. What goes to the final column is the actual expense and the actual income earned. Actual expense incurred and actual income earned. That 1,540, it can't come here because it's not an actual expense. They gave it to you. An actual expense, when it comes to stationery and packing material, it will be what has been used, and it was given to you. So to determine this expense, which is what has been used, you minus from your trial balance amount, you minus what has not yet been used, which was 1,540. See, I'm even putting it on video, and I hope this time it will change. I will not see miracles where people put in what has been used and they minus it from the stationery to determine the stationery expense. And I have, even if you don't, it confuses you, you should stick to the fact that an expense when it comes to stationery is what has been used. And what has been used, you just put it as an expense in the final column. Done. Okay. Now I'm going to add 12,000 with 7,600, all of those, and 11,000, it'll give me 30,600. Remember, my operating income is sitting at 354,000. I did tell you how I got 354,000. I simply took those two and I added them up. It gave me this. Now I'm going to minus this. You see, my expense, I'm putting it in brackets to show that I'm minusing it. I am going to minus that 30,600. When you put your expenses inside the box, there's no need for minusing them because we minus them as a collective, which is the total amount we have there, which is 30,600. That's why you put that 30,600 in brackets. That is your operating expense. How did I get this 30,600? By the way, I took this 12,000, I added 7,600, and I added 11,000. That's how I got that 30,600. So I'm simply minusing all my expenses. And when I minus my expenses incurred, I will be left with operating profit before interest expense, or simply gross operating income. I prefer to say operating profit. Under inventory, we are going to have trading stock, which is per stock count. This is one thing you also can't get wrong because it's given to you. Stock count is 900,000. And then you add consumable stores on hand, which was to add 1,540. I did show you how I calculated that. You take what is in the trial balance, you minus what was used, which is 11,000. That's how you get that 1,540. Don't get it twisted. There is what is in the trial balance minus what was unused. By there, I mean here. So it's what is in the trial balance minus what was unused. Whatever you put in the final column will be used. Please don't make this mistake. And you lose around 3 marks just for this mistake. Okay. Don't memorize, understand. Make sure you understand what you're doing. All right. And then we're going to go to trade and other receivables. In trade and other receivables, already I gave you trade debtors, which is our debtors control, and that was 50,000. You're going to add it with insurance receivable, which was 30,400. It'll give you your trade and other receivables as 80,400. You're going to do all the accounts that we have done here. Here's the question for your classwork. And those are the questions. Please subscribe and click on the notification so that you can get notified whenever I post videos. Also,